We all have been learning English for 5, 10, even some 15 years. But why we can't speak without hesitation? There is something. That's something, a missing line you are going to discover today through this session.
I am a native English speaker. I grew up with the language. I dream in English. I argue in English. I laugh and I cry in English. How do you have a gap in something you had since birth? Well, stick with me. I learned not from a textbook, but from life. How does the shape of my silence look like? I knew the words, I had the thoughts, but I held them back because somewhere deep inside, I had accepted a lie that my voice was less than others. I want to acknowledge something remarkable. In this virtual room right now are people from across the globe, different countries, different mother tongues, different relationships with the English language. But what's so important, we all showed up, and you'll learn that matters. I want to start with a confession many of you would not even expect. It is not something I learned, it is something I was born into. However, for many, many years, I was not fully using it. You're wondering, how is that even possible? How does that even make sense? Because what you will discover is knowing a language and using a language are two completely different things. And the distance between those two things have a name, and that name is the usage gap. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Before I jump into my segment on the usage gap, I want to acknowledge something remarkable. In this virtual room right now are people from across the globe, different countries, different mother tongues, different relationships with the English language. But what's so important, we all showed up, and you'll learn that matters. As a native speaker, I had a hidden silence. People assume that if English is your first language, you walk through the world with total confidence, that you stride into every room and you own it, that words come easy and fear doesn't touch you. Well, that wasn't my story. My silence was not about vocabulary. It was not even about grammar. It was about status. There were rooms I believe were not built for someone that looked like me, who came from where I came from, whose voice carried the weight that mine does. Some voices are heard and some voices are tolerated. But there's a way out. And I had to learn that the way out is within. My prison wasn't ignorance. My prison was permission. Permission I wasn't giving myself. The prison does not have a key on the outside. The only way out is from within. How does the shape of my silence look like? Well, I edited myself. I shrunk back. I chose the safe conversations over the important ones. I sat near the edge of the table, even though I knew I had a place at the table. I knew the words, I had the thoughts, but I held them back because somewhere deep inside, I had accepted a lie that my voice was less than others. That is a different kind of silence than not knowing the language. But you'll learn, not using the language has the same effect. It produces the same exact results. So silence plus silence equals the same results. Perhaps your silence lack of vocabulary, lack of grammar, or maybe even a learning barrier. But my silence was status anxiety, fear of judgment, self-permission denied. But here are the same results. A language unused, a key in the pocket, and the bridge not crossed. Many of you came to English as a second language, maybe a third or fourth. You fought to learn it. You studied late at night. You worked hard than most native speakers even try. And yet, here you are, holding back. Why? You know the answers in the meetings, but you don't speak. Afraid your accent will distract from your ideas. You replay the conversation for hours afterwards, correcting yourself, cringing, wishing you said it differently. You write the email 5 times before you send it, not because the content is wrong, but because of how you think you'll be perceived. You wait until the English is perfect, not realizing that perfection is a moving target designed to keep you quiet forever. You translate mid-sentences and lose the thread. And in that split second, confidence drains away. You have no safe place to practice, no one who will let you stumble, correct you gently, and cheer you forward. This is what silence looks like. This is what the gap looks like. And this is how it shows up in the room when you don't use it. The usage gap is costing you more than opportunity. Different reasons, different backgrounds, different wounds, but we all arrive at the same place, a language we possess sitting unused. That usage gap, it can cost all of us because when you silence your voice, the world loses something it was supposed to hear. So understand this, knowing does not equals using. The gap between those two words are where your potential lives, waiting for you to open the door. English is not the destination, it is the bridge. It's not a measure of your intelligence. It is not a certificate of your worth. It is not a replacement for your mother tongue, your culture, your heritage, the person your grandmother raised you to be. Don't dare let it be. English is only a tool. It's like infrastructure. It is, if you choose to use it, a bridge to global conversations, education and knowledge, collaboration across borders, rooms where decisions are made. And understand this, if you don't speak up, those decisions will be made with or without you, and you need to be present. The question is never whether you speak English. The question is, are you using it to cross to the other side? A bridge you never walk across is just scenery. You were not made to stand on the bank and watch others go across the bridge. Use the bridge. Use English as a bridge. Now, the moment I decided to do that, that was my turning point. It was not a course. It was not a book. It was not even luck. It was a decision, a quiet, fierce, non-negotiable decision I made for myself. I'm going to use this language on purpose, with intention, in spaces that scare me until the fear no longer gets a hold of me and no longer gets my vote. And then I built a discipline around that decision. There are 5 practices that changed everything. And they are: record your voice. Don't judge it. Don't tear it apart. Just hear it. Use it. Even if it doesn't sound right. Learn to love it. Learn to love the sound of your voice. Number 2, present in front of a mirror. Look at yourself speak. This is harder than it sounds, trust me, because we start thinking about how we look, how we sound, how our mouth is moving. We avoid mirrors because we're afraid of what we'll see. But the practice of watching yourself and learning to appreciate what you see and what you hear is how you build relationship with your own presence. Your body is part of your message. Learn to read it, learn to own it. Find a trusted friend and be vulnerable. That's number 3. I reached out to someone I trusted, someone who could laugh but would also not lie to me. I practiced in front of them, virtually and in person. I lowered my defenses. I wasn't so scared of getting feedback. I wasn't afraid of stumbling. I wasn't afraid of honest feedback that says you can improve here and over there. I knew I wasn't going to collapse. So listen, this is the hardest practice. It requires you to be seen before you're ready. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is the currency of growth. You cannot do this. You cannot get better alone. You need a support system. So when you're finding a trusted friend, remember, it could be a sibling, a mentor or a colleague, a small, safe group like sharEvery, or a language partner, which I call accountability partners. Honest, not just kind feedback. Look for feedback that's going to cause you to grow. What they notice about your presence, what lands cloudy versus what gets lost. Permission to stumble and praise when you do. Speak affirmations to yourself over and over again out loud. Tell yourself, I don't care how I sound. I'm still good at this thing. I can do this. Self-talk is building your courage or is borrowing it. Celebrate intentionally, not just perfection. Stop waiting for perfection. Just celebrate the fact that you made an effort, you made an attempt. Progress lives in the practice, not the polish. Let go of the perfect. Embrace the purposeful. Progress is the practice that is going to get you to the other side of the bridge. So let go of trying to be perfect. Embrace being someone who's intentional and purposeful, and someone who believes in yourself and in others. So close the gap. You close the gap in so many different ways. When you hear yourself, you own yourself. When you see yourself, you like yourself. When you trust others, you grow. When you speak affirmations, you are rehearsing what you're going to be in public. So remember, celebrate every attempt that you make. And when the doors open, go through them. Don't worry about what people think. They're going to think regardless of what you do. So do not allow what people think or even what people say, or even if people criticize you. Go through that door. Go through it confidently. Keep practicing. Keep using the skill because it is an opportunity to take you to the other side. So way before you're ready, you're closing that gap. You're using English as a skill. You're using your voice and your body as a way to get you to the other side. And when you get to the other side, know that you are ready. You have the key. You had it the whole time, all the time that you were practicing. So use it and you will be so satisfied. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Veronica Rambabu, the Youth Coordinator at sharEvery Global Foundation. I grew up under the guidance of sharEvery and Smarties Club, where I didn't just learn English but also to build confidence, leadership, and a strong mindset. Here, students will speak with confidence, develop leadership and communication skills, and to build a strong thinking mindset. I'm the living example of this journey. At sharEvery, we believe that learning is incomplete until a transformation happens. Thank you. See you inside.